Being a gang member, there's only, in my opinion, two places you're going to end up is either dead or in jail. Unfortunately for me, it was in jail. And I ended up going to prison at a real young age. My mom, she had me, but at the time, my dad, he decided not to stick around. Me and my mom, we moved from the reservation, searching for a better life, and we moved to Cheyenne, Wyoming, and it ended up with her dying in a drunk driving accident on Mother's Day in '97. So my grandmother, thankfully, she lived right up the street from us, and she ended up taking me in. And when we first came down here to Greeley, we were homeless, man. Like we didn't have anything. We had this group of guys that we were always fighting with, and eventually it escalated, to a shooting. We're gonna have to do the same to them. So I seen the guy, and I took my shot, and I ended up hitting him. And this is when I was 17. I had just turned 17 at the time. The guy that I shot, he lived, but he was pretty badly hurt. It took me years, to learn and to rising up to leave the gang. I finally did. I was incarcerated for 8 years. When I got out of prison, I was looking for a job. Working on cars has always been fascinating to me, because growing up, we had one car, one family vehicle. If that thing broke down, we were all walking. With the help of Jobs of Hope, I was able to get my foot in the door at Weld County Garage, and they ended up taking a chance with me. A guy that I worked for, I told him, yeah, I like working on cars, and I was, doing oil changes for him. I told him, yeah, I like the automotive part of cars. I was like, but man, I really want to get into collision. And he's like, well, this company owns a body shop. He's like, so if that's where you want to be, your foot's in the door. I want to see what you can do with it. And I started learning more about the certifications when I came here, because I had met with an advisor at that time, and they kind of helped me along and plan. And Kyle, the instructor here for the nighttime collision program, he holds you accountable, man. If you didn't have these, you weren't working out here. You didn't have your boots, you weren't working out here. All these things are great, because then in the real world, people are going to expect that from you. Now I'm a full-fledged body tech at Abra, which is a branch off of Weld County Garage. What this means to me here, man, is I'm the first one in my family, you know, to graduate. Yeah, so my grandma, man, when I walked across the stage to get this, I heard her, scream at the top of her lungs for this. Later on that day, she sent me a text message, man, about how proud she was of the man that I've become. I actually got in contact with the guy I shot, so I asked the pastor, hey, man, what do I say to him? What do I do? I ended up talking to this guy. I asked him for forgiveness, man to man, face to face, and he forgave me, man. And after that, like, that's when I knew I can do anything now. My life, I'm free from my past. I could have never imagined my life being the way it is today. And I have a very beautiful fiance. I never would have pictured I have her in my life the way I do. It was always a dream of mine, but I never ever thought that I'd be buying a house. That's huge to me. I never had anything to call my own or my home. Like that's my home. I love being able to see something that's damaged, and people would think it's there's no way you can fix that. And I guess kind of proving them wrong. Like, man, I know I can fix it. Give me all the parts I need. I know I can fix it.